Do you know what? Being a Safuu investor is exhausting. It's exhausting. And it's exhausting because there is very rarely a dull moment. So I had planned to make this video actually yesterday, but then life. So here I am first thing on Monday morning UK time. And this video was due to be about the partnership that was announced on Saturday. So I'm already a little bit late with that video, but I thought I'll get up early. I'll get up early and I'll do it, which I have. Then blow me, I got up early and what's sat there waiting but the white paper. The SafuuX Whitepaper has been released. And it's kind of, okay, so Brian said he was going to release it by this morning, and he did. And I'm like, Brian, can you just kind of cool it with the efficiency? Because, you know, in other DeFi projects, nobody ever does anything on time, ever. Nobody ever makes deadlines. Just give us a break, will you? We can't, you know, I can't make these YouTube videos quick enough. That being said, I am going to talk today about the partnership, give my thoughts on that. And I am going to touch on the white paper, of course, and give my initial thoughts on that, although I have had very little time to even look at it. But you know what? Let's just go. Let's get into it.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah.
Okay, Dugan, come on in. Take a seat quickly. We've got a lot to get through today. Come on. Now, but there is always time to talk about my favourite subject, of course, apart from Safuu, which is tea. And I have something very special today. Would you look at her? She's my new teapot. Is she not a thing of absolute beauty? I saw her and she shouted at me from the shelf and I just had to. But don't worry about Mr. Green because he's now in my little Welsh residence. So you'll be seeing more of him, don't worry. But oh. So today, I'm moving on really quick, but today is English breakfast. I don't know. It wasn't a Yorkshire tea day and Jasmine was a bit too flowery today. It's English breakfast, refined, but down to business. So let's get down to business. And let's just say, this is not financial advice, my friend. You are here for a chat and a cup of tea, and let's just talk about partnerships and white papers. But please do your own research. And by the way, I do have a buy me a coffee link. If you like my content, then please do pay me a visit there. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about this partnership first. So if you're not aware, and if you're not, where have you been? If you're not aware, there was a major partnership announcement made by Brian on Saturday. And this is obviously connected with the development of the SafuuX blockchain. So the partnership is with Decentology, and the actual mechanism that we'll be using to partner with SafuuX is the Hyperverse, which is the product of Decentology. Now, as you know from my previous videos, I am not in any way, shape or form a technical expert when it comes to the development of blockchains. I'm just not. But I do want to give my thoughts on this because it is clearly a really important development for the protocol, for the project and the development of the blockchain. So this is how it went for me. I saw the announcement on Saturday and was really excited to see that the partnership had been announced. But I'm going to be absolutely honest, it meant little to me at the time because I just didn't know what Decentology was or stood for, or what the Hyperverse was. So of course, what did I do? I jumped onto Google to do my own research. So I went off and started rooting around. Firstly, I wanted to understand what on earth the Hyperverse was, and secondly, then to understand or to be able to give my opinion on it. So very briefly, the first thing, what is the Hyperverse by Decentology? The best way that I can describe it, this is my own interpretation by the way, I know it's been described as like a marketplace where web developers can come and pick the modules that they need in order to unleash their project on the blockchain. And the way I think about it is you have lots and lots and lots of web developers that have a certain set of skills, but not necessarily the skills needed to launch or to develop a project on a blockchain. And what the Hyperverse product does is it almost like provides like a translation service. So web developers come with their ideas and their concept, and they then pick some of the Hyperverse, the modules, the software. They pick what they want, they input their ideas, and the Hyperverse then translates that into something that is meaningful to sit on the blockchain. So it's providing accessibility to so many web developers that don't necessarily have the skills to work directly on the blockchain. So it's about translation, it's about accessibility. It's huge, it's massive. It means that people, web developers from all walks of life, can develop products on SafuuX. And that's huge. It's amazing. So after doing that kind of initial appraisal of what actually the Hyperverse would be giving SafuuX, I kind of thought, right, well, what is Decentology? Who are these people that we're partnering with? Who are they? And by the end of my kind of research on Saturday evening, I felt really happy and quite excited. And then, as I say, I woke up kind of on Sunday thinking, right, I'm going to make a video about the partnership. I'm going to say how excited I am. But then I thought, well, I've got to explain why I'm excited. And, you know, I'm a great believer in intuition and gut feeling, but actually making a video about my gut feeling probably isn't good enough. So I have gone back to the drawing board on that, and I've come up with the 3 reasons why I am extremely excited about the partnership with Decentology. So here they are, really briefly, but here's my reasoning, my thinking about why I think this is an incredibly bullish and exciting move by Brian and the team. So, number 1, I really like the messaging that I found all over the Decentology website. And when I was rooting around all of the blog posts on Decentology, I came across, and so I'm just looking at my little machine here, I came across the reason why they decided on the name Decentology. Obviously, Decentology is a play on the words decentralization and technology, but what I found that really, really interested me was the next little bit in the blog post, which says, but our name also touches on something much more foundational: decency. We believe decentralized technology has the potential to help create a better, more equitable world where everyone has access to a decent quality of life. That equitable world starts with developers. It starts with the people who will explore, experiment, and build. Now that really, really piqued my interest because, as I say, I'm not technically minded, but I am people minded. I'm people focused. And to have the name of your company reflecting decency and accessibility, I think is incredible. And actually, rooting around the rest of the website, there is so much that echoes that, not so much in those words, but if you have a look, there is so much about community and accessibility and inclusivity that, well, it made me very, very happy. And there's something about we have to collaborate with partners that support our own vision. And to me, Decentology is ticking all of those boxes. The second thing that I found that made my heart sing was a particular news item on the Decentology website, which is entitled "Tech Expert Nick Caliani, founder of Decentology, is uplifting women in crypto." Now, if you've seen one of my previous videos, and I will link it up here, you know that I have a bit of a special mission in terms of trying to encourage more women into crypto. Now, I know what's being discussed here is actually involving more web developers that are female. I'm not a web developer, but it follows that once we have more representation in terms of any sector, in terms of the number of females that are involved, then investors will follow. And actually, you know, although I'm particularly talking about getting more females involved in crypto, I've also talked about more diversity in crypto. And if you then just poke a little bit further, you will find information about the type of projects that Nick Caliani and Decentology are really supporting. And that's where it gets incredibly exciting. And so the website actually just names a few, and it says, at Decentology, we don't just talk inclusivity. As we grow our ecosystem, support both financially and strategically groups such as Surge Women, Women in Blockchain, Name Mastery NFT, which is artists residing in India, Try Crypto, which is a community of women building crypto products, and many others around the world. So there's something very clear, which is kind of linked to the first point actually, but there's something very clear in the mission and values of Decentology, which I think is something really positive and rings certainly with my own beliefs and values as an investor in Safuu and SafuuX. So yeah, definitely this company is definitely ticking all of the boxes that I want to see ticked. And then the third point was actually watching the AMA between Brian the Legend and Nick Caliani, which took place yesterday, Sunday, very early in the morning for me. But what that did really was triangulate all of the kind of research that I'd done the day before. So all of the good vibes that I was getting about community, about accessibility, inclusivity, the culture of the organization, it all kind of was triangulated when I saw Nick and Brian talking in the AMA, and I will link it down below if you haven't caught up with it yet and you want to have a look. But certainly, you know, I have a lot of expertise when it comes to project management and making projects work. And there are two ingredients that you need. You need the expertise. You need the people there that have the technical expertise to do whatever it is you need doing. But actually, alongside that, and even more fundamental, you need the right people. You need the right people with the vision, with the creativity, with the enthusiasm. You need people to drive through projects. And what I saw throughout that discussion that involved Nick, the CEO of Decentology, was somebody who looked incredibly relaxed in his skin. He looks confident in terms of the offering of Decentology. But also, I just saw somebody that I thought could work really, really well with Brian and the team. And I just thought it looked really relaxed and it felt like there was a good vibe there. And I think, you know, if the team at Decentology work well with the team at SafuuX, and why wouldn't they, then that's when the magic can really happen. So, all in all, I'm feeling really hyped and extremely bullish about this partnership. I think it's a great step forward. So congratulations to Brian and the team for brokering this partnership with Decentology, which will bring the Hyperverse to SafuuX. Bring it on. So let's move on to the white paper. So this is what we've all been waiting for. And sorry, if you're not a Safuu investor and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, the white paper for the development of the SafuuX blockchain has just been released this morning. There is a link below. Please go and have a look, whether you're an investor or not. Take a look, because within the white paper is confirmation of exactly the mechanics of how the blockchain will work. I think if you are already an investor, a lot of what you see there is absolutely confirmation of what we already know, because Brian the legend has been feeding us really confirmation of these details for the past few weeks, but it's really great now to see it literally in black and white and in front of us, and have all that confirmation. In terms of what's there that we didn't know, we now have full access to node calculators. So whether it's a full node that you're interested in or the light nodes, there is a calculator there that estimates, it is only an estimate, but estimates the potential earning income that you might get from the nodes. And also there is details of, you can check whether you've been whitelisted for the full node or not. Remember, light nodes, there's no whitelisting, it's first come first served, so you're going to have to be quick on the button. But for the full nodes, there is a whitelist, and that will detail, you just pop in your wallet address and it will give you detail of whether you're on the gold list, which is for OGs, or whether you're on the silver list, which will open 15 minutes after the original gold list. So lots to check out in terms of the white paper. Just in terms of my thinking and nodes, I think I have now unfortunately come to the conclusion that I won't, although I have been whitelisted, which was great to see, but I don't think I'm going to go for the full node. I think I would potentially, given the price of Safuu at the moment, it may rise in the next 13 days before we buy the nodes. I don't know. Certainly given the current price action, I would have to invest more, which I have thought about and discussed with the current Mr. Chalk. But I think I'm not going to be going for a full node, unfortunately, which doesn't make my heart sing, unlike my new teapot, which does. And looking at the calculator of the full node, even the rebasing is so attractive. But anyway, so my consideration now is looking at light nodes. I'm going to crunch some numbers. As I've said before, I think beyond the potential revenue of light nodes, of which we now have more detail, I really think it's attractive to hold a node in some form, whether it's 1 or 5 or whatever it is, just to be part of the mechanism of the blockchain. I think is actually super exciting in itself, and obviously showing our support for the development of the blockchain. So that's also a consideration for me to think about, which is very positive. But anyway, I'm going to go away now and I'm going to look at the numbers. I'm going to use the calculator. I'm going to crunch it all through, and probably at some point in the next few days, I'll come back to you with my thoughts and my kind of a new take on my strategy. I think the last strategy video I did was about Safuu. So much has changed now, so I will come back at some point in the next few days about that. But in the meantime, gosh, exciting times. And I think, just to summarize, the partnership coming on board, plus the publication of the white paper, gosh, doesn't it make it real? And when you think about it, the 20th of October is, it's what, 9 or 10 weeks away. It's nothing, and we will be sacrificing our Safuu to go into SafuuX, and it's real, folks. It's real. If you're an investor, you're right to be excited. This is exciting. If you're not an investor, take a look at the white paper. You're not too late to get in, but as the time ticks by, you're just losing the opportunity to keep rebasing before we sacrifice. So I would urge you, please look at this. Look at the white paper, go onto the Discord, take part in the community, and just see how you feel, and really consider investing. Not financial advice. My best advice, though, as a human being. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm leaving it there. Thank you for your company today. I do appreciate it. I appreciate your support. for now, I'm gonna go. I really hope I see you in the next video. And until then, stay safe and cheers.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.